Hey guys, welcome back once again, and for today's showcase we will be covering the Danger deck. Now for this deck, I'd like to call it the most consistent Lockjaw deck you can find out there, but I guess it varies per person. This is just my personal opinion of the deck. Now there are several card combinations you can walk around with the Danger deck. The whole point of the Danger deck is have as many high cost and high power cards in your deck. Have as many as you can. But in some cases with those decks, as many you do not have a card like Dr. Octopus and other control cards, right? Just dumping your deck with so many high cost cards might as well leave you with a disadvantage. So instead, in my Danger deck, I will be making use of 3 key cards. Of course, Jane Foster, Lockjaw. After you play a card, you swap it with a card in your deck. And KingPin. KingPin is one of the stars of the deck. When a card moves here on turn 6, destroy it. Now, the whole idea of the deck is you have Wasp and you have Yellow Jacket, which are both 0-drop cards. Your 0-drop cards should always enter your Lockjaw location. Now, Nightcrawler is there for several reasons. It gives me a lot of flexibility. If Nightcrawler pops out of Lockjaw's location, I can always move me away from Lockjaw's location. Nightcrawler is also really good against Galactus decks. In some cases where they would like to fill up a side of your location with so many goblins, Nightcrawler can just act as a placeholder in that spot. It's also good for locations like Space Throne, Sanctum Sanctorum, Death's Domain. Those locked up locations. Nightcrawler is also really good for those as well. Now you have Thor. Thor, of course, also gives us another 0-drop, which is Mjolnir. Now I'm going to talk about other key cards which I personally prefer having in my hand and not in my deck before turn 6. Aero is a massive game changer. There are definitely some times where you don't get Lockjaw early, right? So at most you only play 2 or 3 cards, and Aero is definitely what gets you the win. In those case scenarios, I will put out a few videos where I don't get Lockjaw early, but Aero is what makes me win the game, even with just 3 or 4 cards being played throughout the entire match. Then you have Doom. If you know, Doom is definitely one of my favorite cards. Doom is a 6/5 widespread card, meaning 5 power to each location. Is definitely a massive game changer for the deck. Whenever I run Lockjaw decks, at least Lockjaw review decks, Doom is always the first 6-cost card that comes to my mind, because who wouldn't want 5 power added to each other location? Also really good for locked up locations like Sanctum Sanctorum, Death's Domain. What else? I think Morag knows several locked up locations as well. You have Magneto as well. In comparison to Aero, Magneto own is just moving on opposite 3 and 4 cost cards to this location. Now Mags, Aero, and KingPin, that is another secondary play, and that is also one of the key card combinations for this deck. Towards turn 6, just destroy your opponent's cards, destroy whatever they want to play at turn 6 with Aero, or you destroy whatever 3 or 4 cost cards they had played that could potentially give you the win at turn 6 with Magneto. Then you also have Giganto. Giganto is just a massive powerhouse, 614. Of course, Giganto can be replaced with Hulk, with She-Hulk, because he does have a condition to play him. So in case you want to play him or you need to play him, right, just remember he has a condition. Then of course, Death is always one to have in all these big cost, big power decks, because you definitely will run against Destroy decks, Galactus decks. You will always run against them in one way or another. So for a possible turn 6 play, she's always there. Usually, in most cases, she's always in your hand. So it's just added value as well. Now, of course, I'm not going to sugarcoat the entire deck and just claim it is as perfect as it seems. There are several times where you play Lockjaw and all you get out of Lockjaw, right? Even though, and all possibly you get out of Lockjaw is pulling Yellow Jacket so many times. It's annoying. Or you pull Wasp, or you pull Yellow Jacket plus Wasp, like out of Lockjaw's location. It's very annoying. In those situations, you retreat. Now, I'd also like to talk about a few other ways to try and prevent Mjolnir from coming out of Lockjaw's location. Usually, my game plan is Lockjaw turn 3, Lockjaw plus Wasp and Yellow Jacket turn 3, right? Then my turn 4 now has to be Thor. There's a reason why Thor is my turn 4, because of Jane Foster. Now, depending on how the game is going, I might want to use Aero or Jane Foster, right? If I am using Jane Foster, I go Jane Foster first in Thor's location or in another location, not in Lockjaw's location, right? Sometimes I do put her in Lockjaw's location, but in most cases, never in Lockjaw's location. So Jane Foster in a location first, then you start dropping your other 0 drops in a Lockjaw's location. And this is usually to prevent Lockjaw from pulling out Mjolnir, because Jane Foster has already pulled out all the 0 drops in your deck, right? All the other 0 drops in your deck, so Mjolnir will not pull out of Lockjaw's location. That's just a way of trying to counter that interaction. Then you also have some case scenarios where you know, since KingPin is a key card and is also what you try and set up for a possible turn 6 play, sometimes, of course, if the opponent is running Magneto or Aero, they will destroy your own cards. It is a given. You should know that if you are running KingPin in your deck. That's about it. Now, let's talk about snapping. I usually snap turn 1, between turn 1 and turn 3. I have my reasons. If I see Lockjaw with 1 drop, if I see Lockjaw, right, Wasp, Yellow Jacket, Nightcrawler, or Jane Foster, I'm going to snap. I mean, I have no reason not to snap, because every single thing that I want to pull out of Lockjaw's location is in my deck at that point. So for me, it's an instant snap. The moment I see 0 drops, I see Lockjaw, and I see Jane Foster in my deck, in my hand I mean, it's an instant snap. Or the moment I see KingPin, Aero, Lockjaw, and some 0 drops, it's an instant snap. For me, I don't need to think so much about it. It's just, I snap. If I lose, I lose. If I win, it's a very high win. And in most cases, you will win because your opponent just tends to retreat, either after seeing so many high cost cards. Like, for example, imagine having Giganto, Death, and Magneto in one location. That's very intimidating, right? So you have to keep that in mind as well. Then I forgot to note something. In this deck, you can trigger Thor's Mjolnir, I think a maximum of 3 times. Yes, it should be a maximum of 3 times. So you can trigger Mjolnir multiple times in this deck. Just keep note. That's just an extra. So yes, we can finally go straight into the showcase. Thank you.
Face the might of Asgard! Mjolnir! Opponent snapped! Mjolnir! To me!
All systems go.
Victory! It's clobbering time! Mjolnir! To me!
Systems go.